So it's been a while since we've technically had BMF on our screens, but episode 8, the season finale, is just around the corner, and things are definitely getting intense with a lot of situations, especially after Meech sent Tiny after Lamar in episode 7, and with B-Mickie finding out that Kato had been working for Lamar this entire time. His loyalty is definitely going to be tested, and let's see if he tells Meech the truth about Kato. But there's definitely going to be some payback from Lamar's side as well. As we see him with Kato, he's definitely going to want to collect after he helped her deal with a body, as well as taking the rap as well. But we're going to see the Black Mafia family being born with this episode being all about family, because blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family, and loyalty will definitely be tested with a lot of situations in the season finale of BMF. And Terry is definitely going to be one of those people who will have a difficult choice to make, because Wanda gave him an ultimatum, and you can see he's seriously considering it. And this is the difference between Meech and Terry. We also see Meech and B-Mickie being arrested, and a settlement will probably be on the table for Terry's botched eye surgery, with the trailer finishing off with Meech pulling the trigger on someone. So there is definitely a lot to dive deep on with episode 8's trailer for BMF. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything BMF and Power Universe related. But let's get into all things episode 8, and we really are going to see the birth of the Black Mafia family in the final episode of this season, as we see the BMF logo, with Meech telling Terry that it represents everything that they're about, especially family. They're big on family, and they'll always do whatever they can to protect their own. We even heard Meech telling B-Mickie in this trailer that you have to do anything for your family, which we'll get to later on in this video. But in real life, BMF were definitely big on family, respect, and loyalty up and down their entire organization, and this trailer told us blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. And I mentioned in my review and recap how Meech put his neck on the line by going out on the streets with his crew, because they needed a reason to get back on the streets. The police were sweeping up and picking up anyone, but Meech wants loyalty to run through his entire organization. He wants his crew to be loyal to him, but he also knows that this starts at the top, at the head of the organization. If the 50 boys see him putting himself on the line for them, then he knows his crew will do the exact same thing for him, where someone will take a bullet for you, just like Big Meech's narration told us. He said that he would have taken a bullet for any one of his people, but sometimes the person that you take a bullet for ends up being the one with a gun, and that's because in this game, shit always goes sideways, and nobody can be trusted. Things always don't go to plan because you have external factors like Lamar trying to regain control over these streets and making life as difficult as possible for Meech and Terry to do business, and then there's always the constant threat of law enforcement as well. You have to always have your head on a constant swivel and sleep with one eye open, but having loyalty and family that you can depend on, that's what Meech wants, and that's what he wants to build, which we'll refer back to later on in this video. But with all these other threats, you also have Terry having second thoughts on the game and hustling, with Meech telling him that's the difference between you and me, you're always asking for permission instead of rightfully taking what's yours, and Terry tells him that he wants to build a legacy for their family. But they're hustlers, and that's what Meech tells them, they're never gonna stop, because Terry is just as hungry as Meech is. Meech is just a bit more flashy than Terry, but at this moment in time, both of them definitely have the same vision. It won't always be the case, but they definitely both want to be kings. And what's going to be a game-changing moment for them in their drug business is the settlement offer that Terry's going to get. The money that they're going to be offered will be huge compared to the $25,000 that was offered to them before, because they now have a witness nurse who was there when they botched up Terry's eye surgery. This is what they'll use to start a sedan business, most likely in season 2, but we know he's not going to come out of the game. Just like Meech said, they're hustlers, and they'll be using the money that they get from his settlement to start a legit business, so we're definitely going to see them expand, which I think we've already started to see, with Meech working with Tiny. But it's not going to stop Lucille and Charles from worrying about their family's safety. Lucille asks Meech what he's done, and she doesn't even know who he is anymore. He tells her that she's got nothing to worry about anymore, and Charles was in full panic mode in episode 7 after Lil Darius was stabbed and killed. The funeral and Nicole being taken away for questioning was a real eye-opener for him, and he wanted Nicole to tell the truth to the detectives. He was absolutely done with Meech and Terry's shit. He had enough, because it put Nicole's life in danger, but Lucille knows that telling the truth would have been equally as bad, because it would have put their family in even more danger from Lamar and law enforcement as well, because these detectives, they'll tell you what you want to hear until they wash you out to dry. Charles was packing his bags, but as I mentioned, Meech will do what he can do to protect his family. It's what he promised his mom at the beginning of the season, and it seems like he's going to live up to this promise. But what exactly is he going to do to protect his family? What length is he willing to go to, and what sacrifice is he willing to make? What has he done, or what is he about to do to make him so sure that they have nothing to worry about? We all know that he's going to have to do something about Lamar. He needs to be stopped for sure, because he's going to keep on coming for Meech and Terry, and he'll stop at nothing. killing Slick and Darius. It just proves what lengths Lamar is willing to go to with his crazy state of mind. But now we're gonna see what lengths Meech is willing to go to. We see a shot of Meech holding a gun at what looks like a funeral parlor, with the 50 boys getting locked and loaded and ready, and Kato is with them in this scene in the background and again in this scene. But later on in the trailer we see Kato with Lamar, and it definitely doesn't look willingly from Kato's side. Lamar wants to collect after he helped to deal with the body, as well as taking the rap for it as well, and Kato did promise that she'll help him take out Meech. But she's just started to realize just how crazy Lamar is, and to add to this, she said that the 50 boys are now her family. Even though Kato and Meech have never really seen eye to eye before, she went to B-Mickie's when she killed Detective Lopez in episode 7, and he was there for her. Even after she admitted that she was working for Lamar, and even she convinced him that the 50 boys were her family and that she loves him. Now whether she's double bluffing, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And what Lamar has planned next with Kato, only one can imagine. He wants Kato to kill Meech, but we all know that's not gonna happen. Will Kato and B-Mickie set up Lamar with possibly the gun that B-Mickie used to kill J-Mo with? Who knows? But they need to do something about Lamar, and they need to do something fast, because this situation is gonna get even more messy when Detective Bryant comes raining down on B-Mickie and Meech, arresting both of them. And with this happening, Meech tells B-Mickie that family do what they have to do to protect each other. And this connects me back to the beginning of the video where I mentioned that blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family. The question is, will B-Mickie stay loyal, and will he tell Meech about Kato and how she's been working with Lamar and how she gave up the stash house, the food truck idea, and everything else? Because we know where Meech stands with his crew after last week. He's loyal, but the question is, will B-Mickie tell him? I'm not so sure. But either way, I think Meech will find out the truth in the final episode, and this teaser for episode 8 finishes with Meech firing off a shot at someone who also raises their gun. Now this scene goes by very quick, so who Meech is pulling the trigger on, of course we're gonna have to wait and see, but I do expect there to be a lot of twists and turns and a lot of intense scenes, especially between Meech and Kato. But drop me all your thoughts down below on all things episode 8. What do you think the season finale is going to bring with Kato and B-Mickie? Will they set up Lamar, and will Meech finally get Lamar off the streets once and for all? Or will Lamar continue to cause issues for them? Of course it's going to get even more complicated with law enforcement and all of these other issues that Meech has as well. But drop me all your thoughts and comments down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything BMF and Power Universe related, especially with Power Book 2 Ghost being back with its premiere on the same night as the season finale for BMF. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.